Good morning, YouTube. Punksy Jumper here. Had to run into town real quick, get a few things. If you can see, I got 2 sticks of 3/4 inch Schedule 40 and a bunch of connectors, and you can see that in the back. Got 3 55-gallon plastic drums from aquaponics system. But hey, this is a VR for Serrgio45acp's contest. Long overdue. Been trying to get this in. Made a couple of them. They weren't any good. I made one. It was really bad. Anyway, it says I'll put a link in the description box. Rule number 1 is you got to have fun, and that's the moral of the story with me. And he wanted to hear a story, so I tried to think of which one. I mean, there's not just one. I mean, I've been blessed by having what you could call a colorful life. I've been around quite a few. I've been to many places as a kid because we moved around so much, and I thought maybe I'd just elaborate on that one. So for my story, sit back, kids, grab yourself some popcorn. Punksy Jumper gonna tell you a tale. All true. Believe me, I was there. Started off, I was born in Altoona, 1955, July, year of the Chevy, in a little burg outside of Altoona called Mill Run. I'll be surprised if anybody knows of it. Might be a few of you. But lived in Mill Run, was born in Altoona Hospital because my mom didn't want to have me in the house. So at the age of 4, I believe, we moved to Colorado in a little town called Englewood. It ain't so little anymore. We lived in Englewood, Colorado, and on Grove Street, couple streets over from Federal, and started kindergarten in Englewood. So I was 5 years old, started kindergarten. And then from there we wound up moving to Arizona, down around Tucson, and stayed at a motel for about a week or 2, and then we stayed at another motel, and we lived there for quite a while. It was called the Baronada. Anybody down there in Tucson area that's familiar with it, I'd appreciate some info on if it's still there or not. The people that run it went by the name of Hotchkiss, and they became like our second grandparents. I mean, they were great. We used to have full access to the motel, full access to the kitchen, to the lounge area, and they treated us like their own kids. I mean, it was great. And then Dad bought a house, and then we moved from the Baronada into a house. And I remember we didn't have grass back then. Everybody had sand in the yard. And for Christmas, my dad took our sled and put wheels on it, because we didn't get no snow anymore. I don't even know why we bothered taking a sled to Tucson, Arizona, but hey, I don't know. And then from Tucson, we moved to Washington State. Ephrata is the name of the town. I don't know how we wound up in Ephrata. I forget what the deal was, but it was work going to Colorado and Arizona, but I don't know how we wound up in Washington State. But we was there for a little bit, and then from Washington State we moved back to Colorado in a town called Green Hills, and went to school for a little bit there, and then from Green Hills we moved back to Pennsylvania, to Martinsburg, which is down by Altoona. And my dad worked at the Cove Shoe Factory. I don't know if he was a manager or a foreman or what, but he wore a tie to work, so I don't know, I'm not sure what he did, but he worked at the Cove Shoe Factory, and as it turns out, that's the factory that makes Corcoran jump boots that I would wear later on in my years. And from there, we moved to Lower Marion, right there beside Narberth, PA. And Dad got the job back with the railroad. And we were there for a little bit. That was pretty neat. That was a pretty neat stay. They used to block off the ends of the street. We used to have block parties there. They'd block off the ends of the streets, and everybody would bring a picnic table out to the sidewalk, and you'd walk up and down the street just eating. It was great. And if anybody remembers where Senator Hines died in a helicopter crash flying over a school, well, that was the school I went to. Anyway, from there we moved again, and Dad bought a house in Levittown, PA, and that was in 1965. So all that, and by the time we moved there, I started 5th grade and I was 10 years old. So gives you an idea how many times we moved in just 5 years. So I mean, what can I say? I got gypsy in my blood, I guess. Because of that, I get someplace after a year or two, I get itchy feet. I'm ready to go see what's over the hill. But we've been here right now, and I'd love to take Sweetie Pie off for a trip, you know, and show her some of the things that I've seen. I mean, I've been to the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone National Park, Petrified Forest, Mesa Verde. Been all over the West, been all over the East, and there's still a lot of places that I haven't been that I'd like to go. So anyway, now you got a good idea how I'm wired. I think because of it, I'm a pretty good judge of people. I can watch people, and well, I can tell you right off the bat if I like somebody or not. And what I like about YouTube is, you know, you can watch a couple videos, and for me, I can tell if that'd be somebody I could sit around the fire and have a beer and a good time with. And most of the guys I subscribe to are, you know, they're like that. You know, I subscribe to the channel because I like them. They have good content in their videos. So there you have it. There's my story, Sergio. I hope that qualifies. Like I said, it's all true. Enter me in the contest. Oh, and I think I'd like box number 1. Don't know what's in any of them, so who knows what it's going to be, but I think that's pretty interesting. You know, it's kind of taking a chance on what you're going to get. So well, we're getting close to the old homestead here. So hey, we had a couple warm days and had a couple days of rain, and things are starting to green up pretty good. I mean, people are plowing and everything's getting green. The gobblers are going to start gobbling here pretty soon, and probably going to see a couple fawns start popping out here as we go around. You know, that's always a good sign of springtime, you know, when you see some fawns and you hear the toms gobbling. So anyway, that's it for me, everybody. Comments always welcomed, and crazy times, so stay sharp.